Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hello, my name's Ben Thomas and you're watching Combat Sports UK. Today, I'm joined by Chris Price, who makes his Cage Warriors debut on Saturday night. Firstly, thank you so much for joining me today, Chris. How are you feeling as fight night approaches? Obviously, you're absolutely buzzing, I can tell. Have any nerves started to creep in, or?
Oh, it's just a fight. It's just a fight. I'd say obviously it's a very high profile fight. It's the highest profile fight I've done. Obviously there's a lot on the line. You know, if I win, there's some big things coming for me. That's what I think anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of nerves, it's just like any old fucking fight, really. I'm more excited than nervous, I would say, for this. And more than anything, I'm excited to get it over and done with because I'm fucking sick to death of the dieting.
Yeah, I don't blame you, honestly. After your fight, I know this isn't in my questions. I'm not a weirdo, I promise you. After your fight, what sort of food are you going to have? What will be your first meal after your fight?
You know what? So I've had this question quite a bit. I'm actually planning on asking one of my friends. I'll probably get my girlfriend to do this. In the audience, the fight before me, to order a pizza to the venue.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Like as soon as I've got out the cage, the first thing I want's a big fucking 16-inch pepperoni pizza. That's the first thing I want. That
where are you going to get the pizza from, though?
See, I haven't fully decided that yet. A lot of people are going to cringe when I say this. I'm craving a Domino's pizza. I just like how they do them, very fresh.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's controversial, but I think it's the best, personally.
Yeah, I like Domino's. I've had a lot of pizzas. I wouldn't say it's the absolute best. I've been around. I've had a lot of pizzas in my time, but weirdly enough, that's the one I'm craving the most. Just a big fucking Domino's pizza.
Well, there we are. I mean, we've discussed your pizza loving. We're going to dive into Cage Warriors 152 a bit later on, but I just want to mention a few things about your life in general. I find it extremely inspiring about how open you are talking about living with autism. If you don't mind me asking, what age were you diagnosed with autism?
Oh, you know what? One sec. My mum's in there. I think it was like 5 or 6. Just 1 second. I'll double check.
No worries.
I think it was 5 or 6. Mom, what age was I diagnosed with autism? Oh, fucking hell. That's earlier than I thought. 3. Diagnosed at 3. Yeah.
What was it like growing up with autism?
Sorry?
What was it like growing up from the age of 3 with autism?
Well, when I was a kid, I didn't know I had autism, really.
Yeah.
I was only aware. It sounds mad that when I say it like that. I was only aware when I got a bit older and I figured out something up with me. Because obviously you don't want to tell your child that there's something up with you when you're really young. You won't understand it. No, growing up with it, I don't know. Like I get a lot of obsessions when I was a kid. Like I'd have a lot of phases of stuff. Like I'd know everything about a topic. Like that's a big thing with autism. You just you end up getting into something and you just know everything about that subject. So I really love Star Wars. Still do like Star Wars, to be honest with you. That's something I'm doing a bit at the minute because I'm chilling out this week. I'm watching a lot of Disney Plus, watching a lot of Star Wars stuff. Yeah, I just had loads of mad fucking things that I liked, and I just weren't a normal kid though. Like other kids would be into stuff like football and. Like I wasn't really into sport when I was little. I really wasn't. I wasn't a very active person. I was hyperactive. I used to get up to all sorts of mischief, but I wasn't very active in terms of like sport or competing with other kids or out like that. I was just a bit of a loser. Really. I was a bit of a geek.
Yeah. With not being in sport when you were younger, what age did you find mixed martial arts, and how has mixed martial arts helped with your autism?
So when I started training, it wasn't in mixed martial arts originally. It was in traditional jiu-jitsu. So don't get that confused with Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's nothing like that. It was it's like a weird mix of judo and karate. What I did. It was like a okay. I'll just break the ice. It doesn't fucking work.
There we are. That's a good way to put it.
Very ineffective. Well, the way I got taught it as a kid, it was very ineffective. Probably going to get some hate from that school now for saying that. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend that as your first martial art. To be honest, it's I did that for a bit. But it introduced me, so I've got to give it credit where it's due. It slowly introduced me to the more harder contact martial arts. I did that for a bit. I started that at 6 or 7 years old. I think I was 7 years old. So I did that for a while. But I hated it when I was a kid. I absolutely hated it. Like my mum and dad told me though to keep doing it, like keep pushing towards it. They wanted me to get my black belt in it. By the way, I never actually got my black belt in it. I ended up moving on to doing MMA full time when I was a brown belt in this martial art. But to be honest with you, it was a lot of shit. And I did a mix of stuff before I started doing MMA. I did a little bit of Muay Thai, a little bit of kickboxing, tiny bit of judo, and I knew a guy who'd done a bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he showed me a few things. And then eventually, when I was about 15 years old, August 2012, I found a gym called Blackburn Predators, and I started training under my original coach, Rob Friedman. And it told my mum and dad that I had talent. I don't think I'm talented, but he said there was something about me basically, and he thought he's going to be very good at this, and yeah, here I am today now. Crazy journey.
Have you seen like the positive sides of mixed martial arts affect your autism for the positive?
Yeah. Oh, so you mean this MMA positively affecting my autism? You mean?
Yeah. Does it kind of like fly hand in hand and affect your autism and kind of like help you?
Positively, yeah. So the training side of it, because as an autistic person, like I said earlier, you get obsessed with topics, and MMA, it's got a massive amount of topics within it. It's like there's about 5 or 6 whole martial arts within MMA that you've got to study. So it keeps me almost going on adventures into these different martial arts and learning constantly. That's what I like about it. It's like I'm constantly developing and learning. It never gets boring. So there's that. And also a big one for me is it was a positive way for me and an easy way of me learning to be more sociable, because other aspects of my life I've struggled socially, like really bad. Like that's a big one that a lot of people don't understand about autism. You struggle making friends, you struggle holding relationships with people, and yeah, you just don't think like other people, and it just makes things a bit difficult. And also, like a lot of people think I'm chatting shit when I say this, but it makes you very, very shy. Really? So a lot of the time, like I come across really confident. Really I'm not. I'm just really good at hiding the fact that I'm shy as fuck. But that's helped. MMA's helped my confidence with that. So yeah, it's helped me in a lot of different ways. And also come on. The way I look at it is, if I never did this sport, I'd probably be some loser behind a fucking computer screen, giving people shit on Call of Duty or something. That's what I think I would be if I didn't do this sport. That's what my coach reckons I would have ended up doing. So yeah.
Would when you look at other kids, maybe even adults growing up with autism, would you recommend it to them to take up training in mixed martial arts?
Training, yeah. I wouldn't ever say like fight, because you got to have something about you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you got to be a little bit fucked up to fight. There's got to be something up with you. It has to be. I got bullied quite a bit when I was a kid, and I feel like I have to prove something to myself. That's why I do it, and also I don't want to live a life without regret. That's one of my biggest motivations. I just want to give my absolute best in something that I'm good at. But yeah, definitely it can improve people's lives just training in it. Because the way I look at it, all the people I train with on the mat, I look at them as they're almost my real friends. Like they actually care about me. We all care about each other in a gym.
Mm.
Like because we all understand each other's insecurities, we all understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. Because we're technically speaking, there's the only thing that's stopping us killing each other every single day is a tap.
Mm.
Think about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, we're always under physical conflict with each other, but we smile at the end of it. We all know each other very well. We all help each other grow. So, and the other thing is, a lot of people that I'm friends with, I've got a lot of friends, and you know, surprisingly for an autistic person, but my closest friends are definitely the people that I train with. Those are the people that I trust the most, I'd say, because they know me better than anyone.
Yeah, it
So
makes
yeah,
sense. I mean,
for building friendships, definitely. Like I'd go out camping with all my team. I'd go out drinking with all my teammates. I'd do whatever with all my teammates. You know, I love them all to bits, like family. It's like a second family to me.
yeah, exactly. I mean, being a mixed martial artist, I mean, that's kind of the one thing you inherit, isn't it? It's like that family feeling. But along with becoming a professional mixed martial artist, you've used your platform to openly discuss life with autism. Just how proud does it make you feel knowing that you can use your platform, like Instagram and things, to inspire and change many individuals?
You know what? It's massive because here's a big one. I don't know of a lot of autistic or openly, we'll use the word openly autistic fighters or professional athletes. You don't really hear about it that much.
Never.
They're not like massively open about it,
Mm.
and I don't know why that is. I don't know whether it's because they don't want to come across weak or fuck that. It's like just be you and just show it. It
Yeah.
You're no lesser of a man. You're no more of a man. You just, if anything, I think it helps.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real good suspicion that George St. Pierre is autistic.
Really?
Yeah,
Why
it
is
comes
that?
across it. I don't know. It might not be. He might just be a bit odd. But I don't know. I have a feeling that he's autistic.
Well, I
I'd
mean,
love to think he is anyway. It
uh,
motivates
there
me
we
if he
are.
is.
I mean,
But
hopefully, maybe he sees this. He might see it, and then he might put these rumors to bed. But
he's one of my biggest role models. So I hope to God he sees it. I want a confirmation. If I ever meet him, I'm actually going to ask him that. Like, you're a little bit autistic. Come on. Like, I want to know, like, we ever diagnosed with autism. No disrespect. I just want to know.
yeah, I mean,
But no, I am very, very proud. And I really, really want to push positive awareness of autism. Mostly, I just want kids that have autism to know that they can achieve whatever the hell they want, and there's no like blocks going to stop them. Because a lot of kids with autism, they suffer a lot of bullying. A lot of them, they end up getting involved with the wrong shit, and they end up going to prison. And sadly, a lot of them end up killing themselves over shit, and it's sickening. And it's because of the way society is. No, I'm proud. I'm proud that I can push who I am and my autism through this platform. I'm really, really, really proud of that.
honestly, I mean, I know you've spoken a lot about autism in the lead up to fight night, but thank you so much for being so open with me about your life with autism. It's extremely inspiring, not just to me, but so many individuals out there. So thank you so much for being open. But let's now get into it. You are making your Cage Warriors debut on Saturday. Just how does it feel knowing you're putting on those iconic yellow gloves and you're about to debut on one of the biggest stages in European mixed martial arts?
You know what? Like, I've been asked this question a few times, and the more I think about it, it really don't feel real. You get what I mean by that? It don't feel real because I'm going to be fighting in the same cage and wearing the same gloves that a lot of my my favorite fighters ever have worn. Conor McGregor wore them gloves and fought in that cage. Michael Bisping, Dan Hardy, one of my teammates, Paddy Pimblett, McCann, all these really, really big stars. You know, I could name a load more. And I'm going to be going through the same exact process as these guys, you know, and hopefully I go on the same exact journey as these guys. Yeah, it does feel a bit surreal, to be honest. It's not like I'm signed to the UFC though. You know, let's not look at it like a crazy achievement fighting on Cage Warriors. It's amazing for me, but you know, the sky's the limit. I'm gonna go further than this. I know it.
Exactly. You just mentioned there, Paddy the Baddy, Meatball Molly. Just how inspiring is it knowing that they're teammates and they are literally at the peak of the sport? I mean, they're in the UFC. They're getting gifts from Drake. They're getting all these deals, and you're just a teammate of them. I mean, how inspiring is it to see just how far you can go if you follow like their blueprint in a way?
So speaking to them both, you know, I'm not full on next gen, by the way. I'm not from that gym. I go there during camps. You know, who knows? I might end up going there full time. You know, who knows what the future holds? But I have spoken to them both quite a bit, and you know, they're both extremely friendly people. Like a lot of might get a little bit of stick for saying this, but a lot of fighters at that kind of profile, they're fucking dicks. I'm not kidding. They are fucking dicks.
I mean, I can understand if you're at that level of a athlete, it's quite easy for it to go to your head, isn't it?
Yeah, but them two, they're the same exact people that they were when they started. They've not changed. They're very pleasant. They're very welcoming, and they don't look at somebody like myself as, you know, this small, insignificant, you know, thing. They look at me and they give me advice. They help me. You know what I mean? They have a laugh. You know, they're not dickheads. They're good people. So yeah, shout out to them too. I mean, they don't really need a shout out, but no, it's massive for me because if you know, two people like themselves, they can go and achieve all these amazing things and do all these amazing things, coming from very similar background, you know, to myself, it means I can do it. It means anyone can do it. You know, I think the biggest thing that stops people doing what they want to do is their own mind, and they create barriers for themselves. You know, it is hard, don't get me wrong. I mean, my life for the last 10 years, you know, to get to where I am right now has been pretty fucking hard, but you know, it's doable and it's worth it.
Yeah, let's now move on to your opponent. You are taking on Michal Folc, who's 6-5 as a professional. What have you seen of your opponent, and what do you expect him to bring come fight night?
He's very well rounded. He's got a very strong grappling game, decent striking game, very tough. I think it's going to be a very hard competitive fight for me. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But I do believe I'm going to have an edge in skill on the night. And oh my God, I feel like I'm repeating myself, what I'm saying. I think I'm going to have an edge in skill on the night. I think my skills are going to be a little bit sharper than his. Okay. I might be wrong, though. You never know what could happen in there. Because it's one thing watching somebody fight and then actually being in there with them. I'm expecting it to be a very hard test for me, but I think I'm going to come out on top. And you know, part of me is hoping I get 3 rounds, and and it goes to the judges' scorecards, because I just want to know that I can do that. Because I've never in my amateur career or my professional career gone the distance in a fight. I almost want to do that to know I can do it. But obviously, if I go in there and, you know, I knock him out or I submit him in a minute, then great. That'd be fantastic. I can just fuck off and get, you know, all my food and get drunk and go home. That'd be great.
Exactly. You can have your pizza a lot quicker. You can have that pizza a lot quicker.
Another thing about Folk, he's a very interesting character. Obviously, when you get an opponent, you stalk their social media. Yes, I've been stalking you, Mr. Folk. And he can sing and he can dance. He's a pretty cool guy. Bit weird, but I'm fucking weird.
Oh yeah.
What I see this as is two fucking weirdos fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, you got to be a bit fucked up to do this sport, and I think me and Michal Folc are fucked up people.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
fucked up.
that's one hell of a way to sell it, but I hope to God that Cage Warriors don't put that on a poster because I don't think that's going to go down well at all. But
No, he's fun. No, I'm complimenting him. I think he's a cool guy. I actually, don't get me wrong, I get in that cage, I'm gonna fucking kill him. But after it, I want to have a drink with him. Like, he probably won't understand the fucking word I'm saying, and I won't understand the word he's saying. But he just seems like a cool guy that I get on with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I've got nothing bad to say about most of my opponents, to be honest. I'm not one of these shit talkers. I think it's a bit cringe when guys are talking shit. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, it's pretty cool when guys are talking shit. There's actually something behind it. But I don't know. I find it a bit cringe, and it's a sport at the end of the day. I don't mean any ill will towards anybody. We've all got the same goals. We've all got the same aspirations. We're all working just as hard as each other. So I can't help but respect that.
I mean, I don't know Polish personally, but I have watched a few of his interviews leading up to our interview, and I can definitely see where you're coming from. He's definitely an interesting character, but
yeah, it's his hair, it's his nails. He's a bit of a goth, isn't he? He's very
I love it. I
eccentric,
love it.
and he sings all the time, and he just seems like a really fun guy.
Well, let's hope you can have a drink with him after. But
I hope so, but I think he might be a little bit salty after I beat him. I mean, he might be. I don't know. I hope he isn't.
You never know.
God, hopefully it's a draw, and then we're both happy. I don't know.
But there we are. I'll put that in the. I'll put that as the caption. I hope it's a draw. But
No, I'm kidding. Obviously, I hope I beat him. But he's a cool guy. I don't have any ill will towards him.
How do you expect this fight to play out then? Because I mean, I believe all of his finishes in his career have come via submission, and I believe that 3 out of your 4 have been submissions as well.
Yeah, pretty much all my fights are submissions. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's been playing out in my head. A lot of people are saying, well, 2 grapplers are fighting. It's going to be a striking fight. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to be on the feet. This is going to be the first time Chris is going to stand and bang. That's what a lot of people are reckoning. I'm not going to give anything away because obviously, he might have some pretty good English. You might watch this interview. Someone might tell him something. But being honest, I don't know until I get in there. I might go in there. I might see something and want to strike with him. I might go in there. I might see something and think, you know what, I'm going to shoot a takedown. Or who knows, maybe it's just going to be a mad scrap and we're just constantly shooting on each other, reversing each other, standing and trading. I think we've both got potential to give each other problems in every area of the game. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight, but I'm going to be edging it.
Love that. When you look back at your previous opponents, amateur and professional, do you believe this is your toughest fight to date?
No disrespect to Michal Folc, but no. I think my hardest fight I've ever been given. It's between there's 3 guys that I fought at amateur. I'd say my hardest ever opponent was either between Callum Mullen or Ben Royal. Callum Mullen, you've definitely heard of Callum Mullen.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, he's sick. He's definitely going to get signed to the UFC eventually. Ben Royal was signed to one fighting championship at one point. And there was this other guy who I fought in the IMAFs. Christian, I can't pronounce his name properly. Christian, forgive me if I mix your name up. Christian Yorga, I believe, is his name. Who's a guy who beat me on the IMAFs. He was a fucking tank. He just won a championship in Romania. I don't know if it was a world championship or a national championship. But he just won a very major title over in Romania, and he's undefeated as a pro. But yeah, these three guys were my hardest fights, I'd say. I don't think, no offense to Folc, I don't think Folc's on their level at all.
Hmm.
But Folc's definitely up there. He's not on their level, but he's up there.
Hmm. I mean, it's looking to be such an incredible matchup. And on behalf of all of Combat Sports UK, we wish you the best of luck. But before we go, I just want to touch on one training partner in particular who goes by the name of Nathan Fletcher. I mean,
Oh, fantastic chap.
he returns this Saturday as well. Just how inspiring is it to see Nathan Fletcher, a guy like him, flying through the ranks? How does it help you and your career to be training alongside him?
Massively. And like I said earlier, all the guys at Next Gen, they're super sound. Like they're not egomaniacs. A lot of fighters, you go to different gyms and they almost have like a negative vibe, and they want to they almost look at you as an enemy when they're training with you, like they're going to really compete with you. But no, Nathan's, obviously when we're sparring, we're trying to kill each other. But there's no ill will at all. Like, he's the most friendly guy I've met. Lovely, lovely guy. And also, like you were saying, he's achieved a lot.
Mhm.
Like, comes from a strong wrestling background. He went through the ranks as an amateur. I think he won the amateur Cage Warriors belt.
Mhm.
And then obviously, he went on a good streak, fought for the world title. He came short fighting for the world title, but fuck me. Like, well, I think he was 22 or 23 when he fought for the world title. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was his only loss. And yeah, incredible, incredible guy. And I've benefited a lot doing most of my drilling and my sparring with him leading up to this fight. Massively. Yeah, I can't thank him enough. He's helped me out loads.
I mean, I've spoken to Nathan before, and he's one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. He gave me all the time in the world. So you've done your shout out. I'll give Nathan a shout out here right now. But I did see on your Instagram that you were sparring with Nathan. You obviously know just how talented he is. But how do you expect Nathan's scrap to go on Saturday night?
I don't know if I should say this here. His opponent pulled out.
I'll be honest. I have been speaking with him a tiny bit, and it did seem like something was happening, but I wasn't.
I'm not sure if they've got him a replacement yet. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this though publicly.
The good thing is, our editor is his best mate, so it's fine.
Okay, well.
So don't worry, you're fine. I think he might have a fight now.
I do hope to God that he fights, because he's put so much into it, and I only found out beginning of this week. I think I found out on Tuesday. He told me that his opponent pulled out, and yeah, I was just fucking really gutted for him because he struggles with opponents, Nathan. He really, really does. Like,
are you surprised? I mean, he's an absolute beast.
I know, and it's also like, fighters nowadays, they just. I had this problem, and this is why I ended up going with Cage Warriors. I'd end up booking fights with actual fighters, like tough fighters, and then sometimes 6 weeks out they pull out, and it's like, all right, let's find me somebody else, get somebody else, pull out. One guy I had for a fight on UKFC, Mike Thompson. I'm not going to disrespect him on here because he had some shit going on. Don't we all? And something happened on the week of the fight, and the fights ended up getting switched over. He ended up fighting some Spanish guy, and I weren't fighting for the title anymore. I ended up fighting some fucking journeyman, and yeah, it's just. But this is the way it is. I think early on mid-level pro, guys are dodging and diving people, protecting the records.
Yeah.
Just it's the game we're in, isn't it?
Exactly.
But I'm not going to get any of that. I'm not going to get any of that on Cage Warriors, I don't think. But then again, Nathan is. Fucking hell.
Exactly. I know. But that's the fight game. We all know about it. But I just want to briefly mention your gyms. You obviously split your time between Next Gen in Liverpool and Predators, like you said earlier. Yes. With this
also Combat Performance Academy, Whalley and Blackburn.
Yeah.
That's another gym. But my main two gyms are Predators and Next Gen. Yeah.
And with this fight taking place at the BC Arena, it's bound to be packed with Next Gen and Predators fans. How loud do you expect the arena to be on Saturday night?
I think it's going to be incredible. I think the
Mhm.
atmosphere is going to be insane. And when I make that walk, there's a song I'm going to walk out to, which I'm not going to. I'm not going to say. I'll leave that as a surprise. With the song I'm going to
I'll try and
walk out
cross that out of
to,
you off camera.
the hype for the fight and everything.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be fucking amazing. And
Mhm.
do you know what else? I can't wait for my fight to be over,
Mm.
and I can just sit with all my friends, all my family, all my fans, and watch the
Mhm.
incredible card that's going to be the Manchester Cage Warriors card, because it's probably the best card of the year. No, it's not probably. It's the best Cage Warriors card of the year.
It's incredible.
Full of finishers, full
Mhm.
of guys with a lot of personality and exciting fight in them. You got Adam Cullen on there. You got Luke Riley. You've got one of my teammates, Alex Bolds, on there.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we get Nathan on there.
Mhm.
You know what
It's
I mean? We've
incredible.
got fucking hell, who else we got on there?
I mean, it's literally endless.
We've
You've
got
got
a ton of fucking massive talent.
Mhm.
Liam Malloy's on there.
Yeah.
Loads and loads of guys.
It's
Gavin
the
Hughes,
list is
massive,
literally
massive.
endless. The list
Endless.
is endless. I know, it's crazy. It's gonna be one hell of a night. I'm not even gonna be in the arena, but I literally
Oh,
can't.
gutted.
You know?
The atmosphere is going to be
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah, if I was in Manchester, I might travel. I might have
Have
travelled there and got a press pass.
have you
But
been to one of their Manchester cards before?
no, I'll tell
I
you what. I've only been to one Cage Warriors event, and it was in Ebbw so I'm kind of new to it. So
I went to watch my teammate Sam Spencer fight on this Cage Warriors event. I also went to watch one of my other teammates fight on it, Tom, years ago. The Manchester cards are incredible. Like the amount of fans that are there and the atmosphere, it's insane. It's like, I think it's their biggest show that they do in the year. It's
it's gonna be
insane.
incredible.
I'm so proud to be fighting there.
And now you take place on that card. But honestly, finally, for those out there who maybe haven't seen you fight before, what can they expect when you step into the cage at Cage Warriors 152 in Manchester on Saturday night?
Craziness. I have no fucking clue what's going to happen. I have no fucking clue. You can expect a crazy walkout, a crazy intro, a very, very unpredictable fight. I have no clue what's going to happen. I'm just gonna fight very hard, and then afterwards, it's gonna be a crazy conclusion. I'm probably gonna do something or say something really dumb after it, because I always do. And then, yeah, I'm probably gonna be drunk, very, very drunk.
Well, there we are. I mean, what a way to sell it. But honestly, thank you so much for joining me tonight, Chris. I mean, I know you've got a hectic schedule, but if you'd like to check Chris out on social media, his names will be on the screen somewhere. Drop him a message, show him all the support he deserves. But honestly, Chris, thank you so much. And on behalf of Combat Sports UK, we wish you all the best of luck for Saturday night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.